Yo, yo, yo. Pop it.
Poetry Radio on Thursdays. Pop it up. P.O.P. baby.
Ow.
P.O.P.
Ow. Thank y'all for tuning in. Pop Radio with Megan. We gonna practice that, but it's okay. It's okay. Pop Radio is back, y'all. And I got Acoustic Ambiance with me tonight and every Thursday night, as a matter of fact, from now on, from 5 o'clock to 6 p.m., okay? Hey, we about to get it popping, literally, in just a minute.
See if you do your finger rest on the floor. I don't want to get it all.
Where we go? Hey!
That's how we do at P.O.P. Radio.
We got it.
So don't worry, we gonna get it done.
We gonna get it done. Efficient over here, you know. Efficient over here.
Power Poetry Radio, we celebrate.
Power Poetry is back. We got the wine, cause we popping bottles.
It's all about relaxing, you know.
We're gonna get into some poetry tonight. I got some poems for you guys lined up. And I got Acoustic Ambiance in the building with me. I'm not gonna stop saying it. I'm probably gonna say it 100 times tonight because y'all need to remember the name, okay? Acoustic Ambiance. That's every Thursday. I'm not on Wednesdays anymore. We moved it to Thursdays from 5 to 6. I'm always posting the links to the show, so if you're not able to get on your Facebook to watch my lives, you can click on the link, either if you have an Android phone or an iPhone, click on that link, and you'll be able to listen to the show. Also, Power Poetry is on Indie Plug. Indie Plug now. Shout out to Slim Johnson for that, y'all. So I'm on an app. I'm on an app, okay? Download Indie Plug, and you can listen to pop radio, Power Poetry. You can listen to music. You can watch videos. You can do just about anything on the Indie Plug app. Shout out to Slim Johnson again for making that happen. What up, fam? So my intro is coming on right now. So everybody that's tuning in, clicking that link or downloading that app is about to hear this song. And then we about to get started with some poetry, alright? Everybody got a glass of wine with me. Where you at? What? See how that go? Cheers. Cheers. Pop Radio is back, baby. What y'all thought? I was gonna quit? I said just give me some time to get my mind right. I had to get my mind right, okay?
I'm gonna change you. Register this as Wednesday.
I'm gonna have to change my whole intro. I'm not after the hot box no more. It's all good. Okay, cool. Because Facebook mutes the video anyway. Because of the So I need to do another intro on an original beat anyway, and we can get some paper, some money off of it too.
It's further than the eye can see. Closer I gravitate, higher I
Yeah, that's that
deeper my soul.
Closer.
Yeah,
I can't ever pronounce it.
I can never always go Go Wild Belly, okay. Thank you. I swear I'm over.
not even gonna start off with it. Man.
It's too much for.
I think that's too much for.
We need a resolution.
Yeah, that was the one.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
You like it?
Yeah.
Hey, make sure y'all go to. Hold up. Yo, it's your girl Floetic Desire, and you are now tuned into P.O.P Radio, Power of Poetry. We are on Wednesday. We are on air on Thursdays now, no longer on Wednesdays, guys, from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. So I like that happened anyway, because now I can really get you guys that's headed home from work, that's in traffic right now, like the traffic we was all just in. I can really catch you guys, and y'all can really tune in and listen to some smooth grooves every Thursday, because from now on, Acoustic Ambiance is going to be in the building, as y'all can hear. I know y'all hear that. So every Thursday from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. P.O.P Radio, Power of Poetry with your girl Floetic Desire and Acoustic Ambiance is going to get it popping like this glass of wine that I'm sipping on right now. Yes, guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop it off one time with an original poem here. It does not have a title, just some thoughts. I actually wrote this for a good friend of mine as she went through something pretty tragic in her life. And I just wanted to write something for her to let her know that she's not alone, to let her know that she's beautiful, she is strong, and she has a friend even though she may feel alone. So many times we question the wondrous works of our universe. Maybe accepting that you may never know the answer is what really hurts. If time is the healer of all wounds, then I want you to remember these words. That you are strong and you are beautiful with the power of creating your world. So don't stop, keep pushing. And most of all, never give up. Because soon will be your time to experience the ultimate love. You, my dear, are admired for your resilience during this trying time. Your ability to keep a smile on your face gives me the courage to keep one on mine. A soldier, a warrior, armed with emotional battle scars. They don't make real women like they used to. A phenomenal woman is what you are. Thank you. That was something just real quick, something really simple, but also very meaningful to me. As I said before, that was a poem that I wrote for a really good friend of mine. I hope she's tuning in tonight on my live feed. And if not, I know she'll catch it. So I'm going to go ahead and keep it going with another poem. So this poem I wrote, the first poem I wrote about my son. I've done it before on air, but just in case you missed it, this is If Heaven Could Be Born. If heaven could be born, it would be inside of me. In the center, right below the rise of my breast, and above my sacred motherland, the best part of me. Watered with poetry, excuse me, my own voice threw me off. Watered with passion, fertilized by love, evolving into a masterpiece rapidly daily, traveling down a one-way through me with no GPS because it knows exactly where it is to go. As if being guided by the light from my heart was the only map it needed to survive and arrive safely on time to its destination, where development takes place. Survival time, no hands digging a hole to nest within my flesh. We again become one, and I feel a slight pinch. A easy cramp sensation that gives the green light to my brain that you've arrived safely. And now it's time to secure you, yet what's happening cannot be bought with a bag. Secure you to hold you in place for the next 266 days. That's 6,384 hours. That is 383,400 minutes. It takes approximately 22,982,400 seconds for heaven to exist. To exist in a form that I can touch, to exist in a form that I can see. If heaven could be born, we would call heaven by the name given by its creator, just as God named the vault sky and the water sea and the dry ground land. And as heaven feeds from the nutrients of the universe and grows over time with a timeless soul, life begins to take shape inside a force field I call a energy bubble, where vibrations thrive, thus creating an atmosphere in which heaven resides. If heaven could be born, I am a advocate for destiny. A small fraction compared to the life inside of me. I am earth. I am God, his God, her God. This is my heaven. Give me some snaps, guys, because I wrote that about my baby. Shout out to Nazir, Malik Hampton. Yeah.
Energy bubbles and all that. Nice.
Thank you so much. I couldn't help it. Once I started going, I just couldn't stop. And I really didn't even mean to take it that deep, but I've been wanting my son.
It's a deep subject matter.
Yeah.
Giving birth. That's deep. Let me ask you, how long have you been writing poetry?
Oh man. I've actually been writing poetry since I was a child, since junior high. Okay. I've been writing poems since junior high. In high school, I was really, really heavy in poetry. After high school, there was a break when I stopped writing, and it was shortly after high school. It was when I started getting in relationships and messing with boys. Yes, that's when I stopped, because my attention and focus went so much on being a 18-year-old trying to be a good woman, and being heartbroken. I stopped.
Wow.
I stopped writing.
See, a lot of times that's what makes people write. It's like relationships and what they experience in the relationships. That's what they write about.
And it's so weird that made me stop. I closed up. I closed up. I stopped doing what I love to do. I drew back from everything. I used to buy like keyboards and little snare drums and stuff like that. Don't know how to play, but I know that that's what I wanted to do.
Just going off a feeling.
Yeah.
You needed, so you didn't have to know what you were doing, but you could make it do what you wanted it to do.
Exactly. And I'll just say, when I met my child's father, he's been doing music since he was in high school too. So I stopped writing even more because of how great he was. And just watching him, and it was kind of hard for me to get back into it because I kind of lost my passion for it. And so just watching him do it was enough for me, until it wasn't enough for me anymore. And and when I got back into it, I got back into writing, and I actually got back into pursuing music. Initially I was trying to put poetry to music, just like we're doing now.
Okay.
But I did not know how then. I did not know the people such as yourself
Right.
in order to do that as well.
Okay.
The connections was not there. It was just strictly Martin Luther King, I have a dream, let's go. And since I didn't know how to do it and I was trying to find myself, develop my craft, I started rapping. Because I doing the poetry, the music like I'm doing now, I couldn't do it then, even though this was my vision then. So I rapped it. I rapped my poetry, found a beat, wrote the poem, fit the poem to the beat, and rapped it. But people started loving my raps or me rapping more than they wanted to hear my poetry.
But see, this not to cut you off, but I mean, this takes us down another road and this is something that I have been thinking about and I want to talk about. And Power Poetry Radio is the best platform to talk about it on. Why do we think there is a difference between poetry and rap?
Right.
Or poetry and hip hop? Because to me, from my perspective, rap is poetry.
Yes.
It's poetry to music. It's poetry to, so I mean, do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
You know how people think, okay, well, oh, she's a poet and he's a rapper, but aren't they the same thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you agree with me? Okay.
Yes, I do.
All right. It's the same
yes,
thing.
I do. Now, I
Now
definitely
see,
agree with you. I definitely see.
A rapper is a poet.
Yes. One of my favorite poets
But
who was a
maybe
rapper, Tupac.
Okay, of course. Good example.
Like he is
a poet.
Yes, and so influential. Like I love him not because of his music, because he's not a lyricist to me.
Tupac is not a lyricist?
A lyricist? No, like a lyricist would be Eminem, Royce the 5'9". I would say Jadakiss,
okay.
Nas. Those are lyricists to me.
Mm-hmm.
Tupac wasn't a lyricist to me, but when he spoke, you listened.
Right.
It didn't matter what he said.
Right.
When he spoke, you listened, and he just affected me just so much.
A lot of people, obviously. I mean, my experience with Tupac is that like he's just so relatable. Like he basically he could explain anything to anybody and make you understand it.
Yeah.
That's how I saw him.
Yeah,
like
definitely.
He could take an astrophysics book and explain it to a 5-year-old. And a 5-year-old would be like, "Oh, okay, I see what you're saying." Because he had that was his gift. Okay.
Yeah,
now,
definitely.
when I said that a rapper is a poet, it makes me think. But like, a poet isn't necessarily a rapper though, or
True, because not all poets can rap.
right. So when I say it's the same thing, you really think about like, well, is it? Because not all poets can rap.
So you do have a good point, because not all poets can rap. And then also
maybe that's different.
One of not to just throw her name out there or anything like that, but I've been trying to get Flower Child on my show for the longest.
Okay.
Phenomenal rapper. Do not do the poetry. So, and
someone chimed in, said Mos Def, and wanted to say that you said it perfect about Eminem. They're lyricists, and there is the difference there.
Yeah. And that's just my opinion too. And I don't listen to, well, growing up, I listened to a lot of like R&B and things like that. So there's a lot of rappers that I'm stuck on. So if y'all hear me saying their name a lot, that's because I feel like their family. Like, I grew up listening like to these people. So so I'm going to, throw their names out there. But like some rappers do not want to hit the poetry scene, or they're actually amazed by the poetry scene. Like they, and the poetry scene is just so lovely. Everyone is so loving. There's no malice. Everyone puts everyone on. like, hey, there's this one show, or they're quick to show love, repost your videos or pictures and things like that. So the poetry scene is amazing.
The poetry scene in Dallas Fort Worth?
In Dallas.
Really?
You don't think so?
I'm just clarifying here.
Well, the events that I've been through so far, I'm scared. I'm scared now. What do you know that I don't know?
Don't be scared.
No, what do you know that I
Everybody
don't
knows
know?
I play devil's advocate all the time, and I mean, hey, well, you know what? We'll get some people on the Power of Poetry radio show one day that may contradict what you're saying. We'll see.
No, I'm cool.
But you're talking about your experience. I get
Yeah, just my experience.
That's what you haven't
just my
experienced any
experience.
negativity.
Yeah,
someone just chimed in and said rap is actually an acronym, rhythm and poetry. That's what rap stands for.
Okay.
Dab.
Yeah.
I definitely know that I've been, as a musician, I've been working with some young hip hop artists, some young rappers recently, and they're very young and they're very good, but like their egos are like way up here. And I actually took them to some poetry events to be like, bro, like y'all need to come. I need to show y'all something so y'all can know, because they think they go so hard, and it's like these poets are going harder than y'all, and they don't have no beat. So it's like
no music playing behind.
Exactly.
No,
so I needed them to see that, to be like, you as a rapper, you want what you're saying. You want your lyrics to actually have the same impact, whether it has a beat or not.
Yeah.
That's what you should aim for as a lyricist.
Yeah.
I think.
That's Did they like that experience?
They loved it.
Yeah,
they actually loved it. They came out of there thinking like, no, I need to learn. I need to get my stuff like that. I need to be able to spit it like that. So yeah, it worked. One more question for you, real quick. So do you actually like write your poetry down, like physically, or do you kind of just come up with it in your head?
Okay.
Freestyle, how you do it?
All right. So it's really weird because I write a bunch of different ways. I'm a very emotional writer. So unless I'm writing, unless someone says, hey, I want you to write a poem for me, I want it to be about this and this and this, then I'm like, okay, yeah, cool, bet, I can get to work. But if I'm just thinking like, I want to write a poem about flat screen TVs, I'm not going to say I can't. It doesn't flow easily to me as if I'm watching a video of a young black man being murdered and I want to make a Facebook status, but I'm known for ranting and going off, so forget it. I'm finna write and until I just...
It has to be something that you have an emotional connection to.
Yeah, because when I was writing as a kid, the reason why I wrote was when I was emotional. So when I was happy, I wrote. When I was sad or when I got in trouble, if my mom yelled at me or if I got in trouble at school or whatever, I would go in my room and I would cry and I would write. And by the time I'm done crying, I'm done writing, I feel better. And then I have a masterpiece written on paper. And even sometimes when I'm sad and I'm writing a poem, I might write a happy poem even though I'm sad about, or the reason why I'm emotional in reality is because of a sad situation. But the first thing that just started coming to my mind is flowers, hearts, and candies. So I'm going to go with it until I have like this beautiful garden.
And you probably feel better after you write
afterwards,
that.
yes.
Okay.
Yes. And I can say that during the time period that I stopped writing, from when I first started getting into relationships up until about maybe like 5 or 6 years ago when I started back writing, I developed a very bad attitude. Very bad attitude that I'm trying to break, have recognized years ago. Yeah. I did not realize how much writing played a key part in my life and just who I am, period.
Yeah.
Yeah, so So now that we're doing the show and we're doing poetry and things like that, I kind of take my attention and focus, somewhere else.
One more, real quick.
Yeah.
How do you deal with writer's block? If you ever get that?
How do I deal with writer's block? Well, what I do is I get my pretty little grinder. I throw a little greenery in it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Break it.
Simple enough. Okay.
Yeah.
And it's done. That's all.
It's
Okay. All right.
Simple as that.
Hey, Floetic Desire is not ashamed, y'all. Y'all can smell it on me when I walk in the room. I ain't even going front. Like, hey. But and also another thing that I do seriously is I take a break. I take a break from it. I'll turn on an instrumental. I do that a lot when I have writer's block more when I'm writing songs more than when I'm writing poetry. Poetry is just, gosh, it's just
easy.
So damn easy.
Comes to you.
But rapping, that is something that I developed. So I do get writer's block sometimes when I'm writing my lyrics when I'm rapping, but I'll just turn on another instrumental or just take a break completely from it. Or maybe just stop that day, come back the next day. Or instead of trying to write the whole song in one day, I'll start off with writing like a really, really dope hook. And then I'll leave it alone. Just let my mind just marinate on that. The next day I'm in the shower, I'm just singing just the hook or rapping just the hook until I feel moved to write the verse.
Okay. You mind if I ask you another question?
No, I'm good.
This is your show.
I'm good. No, I'm good.
You have to play music.
Y'all good. Y'all good.
Okay,
No.
y'all good? It's
I know
Power
y'all
Poetry
good out
Radio.
there.
Okay.
I know y'all good out there.
Tell us about your moniker, Floetic Desire. How did you come up with that?
All right. So my name is Desiree. And Desiree is French and it means the most desired. And since poetry flows so easily, I thus put flow and poetic, floetic, and then desire.
Gotcha. Makes sense.
Yeah, so
I
that's where that came from. And I made that up when I first started to pursue music. I didn't know what to call myself. And so I decided after weeks of trying to figure, man, what am I going to go by? What my artist name going to be, this and that. I decided that it's going to be my name in some type of way. It's going to be me because I can't think of who to be. So I'm just going to be myself. So that's where that name came from.
Cool.
I got some questions for you.
I know. Okay. All right. My turn.
Man, so when did you start playing? Like, this is not going to make sense, but I say this all the time. I'm positively jealous. Mm-hmm. So it's not in a bad way. It's just I admire the fact that you can play instruments. Like, when did you start playing?
I probably started playing around the age of 10 years old.
Oh my gosh.
That's when I started, you know what I mean? So, I mean, there was just a desire there. I started playing in church, and as a 10-year-old boy, and I tell this story all the time, like when I was a kid and I used to go to church, like in our church, like, it was mandatory. If you were a kid sitting out in the pews, you had to get up, you had to stand up, you had to sing the songs, you had to clap your hands, like you had to participate. Mm-hmm. You couldn't just, sit there, we went to a church like that. So, but I didn't really like that. Like I didn't want to be in the audience. I wanted to be on stage. I wanted to be up there playing the guitar. So, I would sit on the front row and, study the guitar players. And I would go back home and I had a guitar at home somehow, and then I would just practice
Wow.
I learned the songs. I was basically, I call it self-taught, but people taught me because they played for me. They played in front of me. I saw them playing. So I just learned from watching them. I use my ears.
Wow.
Right. So it's just a desire and a passion of something that I developed over a few years. And it took a lot of years of practice and experience to get me where I am today. You know, that's the key to it, is that, you know, if you want to do something, you have to put the time in.
Sure.
So it's
Definitely true. Definitely true.
Yeah.
Man, that's awesome. As I was saying before, like I would have like a keyboard or whatever.
Yeah.
I could only play by ear. So I would run back the songs and you know, find the keys and memorize what it took to.
You should be playing, because
I know. Don't do that to me live.
You have
do not do that to me live.
Well, I know you have very long fingers. Like yeah.
I do.
Yeah, so you could easily be playing. So I tell people this when it comes to the guitar, but it works even better on the keyboard. Like, it's really the same. It's really the same skill set you need to type. Like saying you didn't know how to type on keyboard at some point, and they taught you to. Now it's like muscle memory. You know, where the A is, you just automatically hit it. You don't have to sit there and look at it. Well, playing a keyboard it's the same thing. Like hitting those notes is the same strokes as you're doing when you type it, and it's the same way as the guitar. The guitar just isn't laying flat horizontal like that, but your fingers will adjust to the point to where, like, you see me doing this, I don't have to look at it.
That's so awesome. That's so awesome.
It's just a hand coordination thing that anybody can learn with a little time, a little practice in doing.
Man, I definitely wish I could. I kind of feel like I'm a little too old now.
No way.
To try to get it down.
So what we're gonna do off camera, I am going to give Floetic Desire some guitar lessons, and one day on Power Poetry Radio, she's gonna have a recital and she's gonna play a song for you guys. Stay tuned. It's gonna happen one day. I can't say when, but just stay tuned. You're gonna see.
See what you doing to me, guys? See, look, hey, you know, I'm down.
Yeah.
I'm down. I'm gonna try.
I'm a good teacher. I got you.
Okay. Oh man.
Someone on my live wanted to know acoustic ambience. Do you play any other instruments?
I play bass guitar mostly, yeah. So I would say guitar and bass guitar. I fool around with keyboard a little bit in the studio just for production, but my main instrument is bass guitar and guitar.
Cool. Man. And then another instrument that I played the baritone in high school.
Saxophone?
Baritone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Which
so
one is that?
like the mini tuba.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was in marching band too.
Mini tuba.
Yeah, but that kind of
I didn't know what she had to explain it to me. I didn't know what it was.
It's just the shape for people who don't know.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I played the baritone.
Okay.
I played bass. So yeah, that was a long time ago, guys. That was like way back in high school.
You have a musical background.
Just a little bit, and I can march with it too. I can hold it up, march, you know, do all that. But I chose that instrument. Well, I chose that instrument because my mama didn't take me early enough so I could register for percussion. Okay, I wanted to do the drums.
You see what happens to parents? They never forget this stuff. Never forget.
So you wanted to be a Sheila Eden?
Yes.
I can see that.
Yes.
I can see that too.
Vibe.
Yes, I wanted to be the next.
Almost a look too.
Yeah.
With
that's
the
supposed to be
glasses.
me. Right now, to this day, like we are supposed to have a concert, and I'm supposed to be playing the drums, and then she's supposed to walk up behind me, and I'm supposed to turn around, like, oh my God, like that was supposed to happen in my lifetime, okay? But you know, it's okay.
I can see that.
I'll take Beyonce, okay, you know, she like my poem, put it on your next album. You too, Jay. Kanye, not you. I'm mad at you.
Oh Lord.
I'm mad at you.
We still mad at Kanye?
I'm still mad at him just a little bit, and not because of what he said. It's because I listened to the album. I was rooting for you, and I listened to the album, and I was not impressed.
Joe Budden said that. He said,
he dropped the album or something.
See,
When?
That's what all the controversy was about.
I'm been still hearing about Eminem's album.
Kanye dropped like a while back.
Oh, a while back. Okay, I thought something new had happened. They drop every 5 seconds.
Was it earlier this year?
And Lil Wayne dropping something tonight at midnight, supposedly.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, I think he is.
Supposedly,
I think he is.
So
So man, I'm just listening to the verses and they're just so subpar to me, and I'm just like, where's Travis Scott when you need him? Okay, never mind.
Who is? I know. Which is fine. So, who's your favorite poet in the Dallas-Fort Worth area?
Oh, my favorite poet so far, who I've met, would be Masterpiece Poet.
Okay.
Next would be Be the Poet.
Okay.
Or B. Excuse me. I also follow Preach the Poet. I also follow what is that woman's name? She's so beautiful and tall. Really tall. Like tall.
Dark skin?
Yeah.
L. Davis?
At least we know she's
L.
tall.
Davis? Lanisha Davis? Is that what you're talking?
No.
Dark Girl Fly?
Oh, she's good too.
Okay.
But no. I met Dark Girl Fly through a mutual friend of mine, Channing Belford. I met her at a open mic at the Avocado Lounge at one event that not Rip the Mic, but the same people who put on Rip the Mic, Impress Entertainment. Yeah, they put on their poetry open mic. I forgot the name of it. But she went and she also invited. She's like, hey, one of my friend, a good friend of mine, one of my coworkers, I believe, writes poetry. I invited her too, and when she came, that was when I first met her. And let me tell you that she's about her business. She's about her business. She came with her book. She came with her book. And then like one of those credit card like machines, like in case you didn't have cash. Like I don't want to hear no. Oh, I don't got no cash on me. Oh well, boom. She pulled that out. Yeah. Slide your card. Like she's about her business.
And that's like a lot of people. Well, I kind of hear this in the hip hop community a little bit more, but it's kind of everywhere. Like a lot of people are falling out of love with open mics. You know what I mean? But it's like that's because y'all go to the open mic unprepared. Like if you bring your merchandise and your credit card swiper, there is no free gig. Like you can get money off of any gig.
Yeah, exactly.
Come prepared. So.
Exactly. Speaking of merchandise and everything like that, stay tuned for the Power Poetry shirts. Power of Poetry and Acoustic Ambiance shirts. Man, when I start, like you said, when I start going to these events, and that's what I always say for those who don't, or who want to quit their job and like do this full time and stuff like that. Like going to the events or writing poetry or making music and things like that is not enough. Like you really have to get out there and do your leg work, your footwork, have your merchandise, have your whatever, your table set up, whatever, your team of people, instead of I'm just doing it by myself right now. But, I've been saying for a long time that I also need a team. I forget things. I forgot to tell you where the new building was to make sure you knew where it was. Like certain little things that need to be executed, I forget because I'm a one-woman show. But I also work as well. But for those who want to do this full time and stuff like that, like you have to have a way to make some money with this. As of now, you know, pop radio, power of poetry, it's $20. Just $20 just to come on the show. But it would be so beneficial. My blogs that I write, I no longer do those for free. Unless I just feel moved to, hey, like, I want to write about you. But I no longer do that for free either, because I put a lot into my blogs. I put time, I put sweat, I put thought, dedication to make sure that your blog about you, your music, your event, whatever it is that I'm doing, come out perfect. There's times when there was a time when I wrote a complete blog, was finished with it and everything done, editing it, and it disappeared from my phone. I did not delete it. I did not delete it, because when you delete, you have to do, are you sure you want to delete? You get the message where you can cancel. I didn't delete, but it was one of those.
It's almost like when you stub your toe on the end of the bed, you know how that shit? That's what happens when you lose your shit. Like, it just be like, like you can't even breathe. You be so shocked and man.
Yes, like I cried. I cried for about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And then I wrote the blog again.
You get over it. You just be like, oh well, this is
I wrote it again.
Nothing else to do. Yeah.
And I posted it that night, and people loved it. People shared it, and they did not know that the entire blog before that completely disappeared like a ghost in my phone. And you know, I write blogs while I'm at work. For those of you who hit me up like, hey, I need a blog and I need it tomorrow. Oh, I need a blog and I need it later on today. Okay, yeah, I work full time and I have a son, but I'm flow. I'm gonna make that happen. So I write blogs at work sometimes. You know, I'm a waitress. But that's really nothing new, because no matter what job I had, I always found time or found something to write on, to jot down something. Cashier at Sam's, checking people out, done, line, pulling up receipt paper, writing a poem on receipt paper until the next person comes. I worked at a warehouse where I was moving boxes. Move boxes, stack my pallet, waiting on the next truck to come. The labels that we put, after we wrap the pallet, put the label, turn one over. Using the little chalk stuff to write.
So you're like one of those savant people that has a wall that they just wrote a bunch of shit on. Nobody else can make sense of it, but you be like, look, right here, it's a masterpiece right here, like one of them crazy.
Yes. That you know what? That
You gonna start doing it, right?
Yeah. You just gave me an idea, you guys. A decorative idea. But yeah, no matter what type of job I had, I always found time. Call center, no call coming in. Pulling out my notebook, writing on something. Or yes, ma'am, we can go ahead and take care of that for you. Just one moment. Place you on a brief hold. I don't work there no more, so I don't care. No, but yeah, I always wrote something. Speaking of writing, there is a poem that I want to do. We need a resolution.
Okay, you ready for that? Okay. Let's go, y'all. Y'all in for a treat. Okay.
Are y'all tuned in?
Sit back.
Are y'all ready?
Pour your drinks or whatever, man. It's about to get real.
Are y'all ready? Okay.
Check this out. Check this out.
And you know what?
Oh
no, you can play. This is the one that I'm going to do. Yeah, I'm not going to do the extended version. I'm just the one that I can. Okay. This poem is called We Need a Resolution. It is reported in 2017 that 987 is the number. The number of lives took, the number of black kings and queens shook from their thrones as their dynasty is overlooked and buried, like their bodies in a coffin, often forgotten. Hottest topic or latest hashtag until the next fad, but like I said, and I'm mad, what did you just ask? The answer shouldn't cause confusion. It's no illusion, we need a resolution to release the bond of the minority killing phenomenon that's ongoing. So this poem is honoring and remembering the following. Regardless of your opinions, facts, families are destroyed. I'm annoyed, and this story I do not enjoy. See, probably trying to show police that what he had was just a toy, tragically ending the sweet life of a 12-year-old boy. When tried and asked, "Officer, what came about?" he replied without a doubt, "I knew it was a gun. I knew it was coming out. Shut your mouth. Privilege reeks from the lies on your breath. The disgusting smell of death seeps through your pores in depth. And while this story ends in no prosecution, you know what we need? We need a resolution. Rest in power to Tamar Rice." Now scrolling down my timeline, sitting on my sofa, I read of a man who oddly fell into a coma on the transport van and hold up. Injuries to his spinal cord ignored on the coroner report. Lord, what a coincidence. No witnesses, the officers intricate to the incident found innocent. Our significance is imprisonment or submissiveness. Ridiculous. These hypocrites, stop the execution, because you know what we need? We need a resolution. Rest in power to Freddie Gray. Now this man didn't have dreadlocks, but for 19 seconds he was in a headlock, strangled to death trying to survive when it's prohibited in NY to use that type of control. So what was the reason why he was locked in a chokehold? Then the audacity of the officer to deny that he strangled this man and he got off with a lie. So don't be surprised when we spark a revolution, because you know what we need? We need a resolution. Rest in power to Eric Gardner. Contradicting police reports, clearly racially motivated. Officers lied about the evidence, but a bystander videotaped it. 20 years in prison when we know he ought to bleed, when you can get the same amount of time for selling weed. So you know what we need? We need a resolution. Rest in power to Walter Scott. Now for this last one, ball up your fists and hold up your hand in honor of our queen, Miss Sandra Bland, because guiltlessly they killed her because she spoke up. Police tried to claim suicide, but we all know what's up. My strong sister didn't hold back the rights of her tongue. In jail, giving her last speech, she was murdered and hung. Stand up for something, or fall for the delusion. What do Black Americans need? We need a resolution. Rest in power to Sandra Bland.
Yeah.
That was wonderful.
Nice.
That was wonderful, guys. Like my soul is doing flips inside of me. Like that was wonderful.
Soul is doing flips.
See what I did there? Look.
Yeah, it was, I mean, you know, when I first heard that one, I was like, wow, like she really went in on that one. Like, yeah.
Oh,
like,
man. And
you can feel that vibe.
And that was the version that I had to cut in half.
Yeah.
I actually had 12 people, like including Michael Brown, including Trayvon Martin.
You could have 50. Like,
yeah,
it's sad to say it that way, but like, yeah, because that's how much this is happening. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So we don't even have to ask where the inspiration for it came from. Like, we know, we see it in the headlines every day. And when I saw your post on the Power of Poetry YouTube channel, everybody go like and subscribe to the Power of Poetry YouTube channel now, please.
Boom.
That's when I first saw the poem. Like, it was obvious. Like, you were so serious. Like, you came. The conviction was there. You know, I could tell. It was like, this chick is on a mission. She got something to say. She's not smiling in this video at all. Like, she's coming with it. Yeah.
I wanted that video to be taken so seriously. I tried my best to show my emotion as if I was having like a conversation with someone sitting right next to me, as if I was explaining to another Caucasian of why we feel the way that we do, and they understand because I have white friends, white coworkers who understand. They don't know because they will never know because they're not us. But they understand.
They understand because I know from like seeing like on certain news sites, like on social media, when they post certain things, you know, that happen, and you see, you know, non-black people in the comment section speaking to other non-black people, and they say this is why they kneel. Like they're explaining to them, saying, "Hey, y'all don't get why they're kneeling down at these football games. Like this is why." This Amber Geiger situation, you know.
Oh man,
you know I shouldn't even say her name. It's the Botham Jean. That's whose name we should say.
We would be here like for another hour, like speaking for that situation. Like that situation upsets me so much that I do not follow it.
I know, really.
Yes, it upsets me that much that I do not follow it. Like I see it.
You ain't trying to see
and I know that she's lying. I don't. News story came out that she's lying. I don't care. I don't want to know about the news story that came out because I knew we know that she was lying in the first place. Like you don't have to keep. You don't have to keep throwing it in my face for me to see what it is that's going on with this case. And when I'm ready, I'm going to write something for you, Amber. Like best believe. But woo, I might start on it tonight. Like I'm starting to feel it. Like this is
power of poetry.
Man, the power of poetry. Like that situation gets to me so bad. Like how could you? How dare you? And also how dare the Dallas police chief or whatever the fuck her title is. Yes, I said it. Whatever she is, going to say that she can't fire her because of like certain like laws and regulations or some whatever that article stated. The reason why that she could not fire Amber is a bunch of bullshit.
But what if what she's really doing is basically just getting out the way and saying and exposing, I should say, the good old boy syndrome. You know what I mean? Because she immediately charged her with something. She issued a warrant. She charged her with something. Then she said, "I'm going to hand it over to the Texas Rangers.
Yeah.
Let's see if they're going to back me up." Basically, maybe that's what she's saying. And then the Texas Rangers didn't issue a warrant. They didn't do nothing, basically. And so maybe now by her saying, "I I can't fire her because of the stuff that the regulations that they have in place. All she's doing is pointing the finger at the system, saying, I can't give y'all justice because these, MFs, I don't know if I can say that, because these people are obstructing me. They won't let me give y'all justice. Do you think that's maybe a possibility?
And and my thing to that is that if that is a possibility, I need for those black people in position and in power to not be afraid to fight, because I also think it could also be a possibility where say I was gonna say it, but I'm not. Say, black woman, we know where your kids go to school.
Yeah.
Enough said.
See, she's been threatened. Yeah.
Enough said. Like, you don't got to threaten kids. Enough said. I ain't firing her. Justice for the black people. But these my babies.
That's something that crossed my mind. Yeah, too. Yeah, it's a possibility that she's saying, "Hey, I want to do this, but these big wigs above me are the ones taking. They won't let me."
And I need you guys. We need you guys to not be afraid.
There you go.
To you're in the position, and you're in that position for a reason. Like, believe it or not, you have a responsibility. And with great responsibility with great power comes great responsibility. And you have to fight for us. Like, we need you. And I know the threats are scary. I can only imagine. Sometimes when my poems, when I'm doing them out in events, I'm watching my back because I don't want a bottle hit on upside of my head, because I'm empowering black people. It's just, man, just, I don't know. I feel like some kind of way, something can be done. She can do something.
Yeah.
And if she can't do something, somebody else can. There's no way that this woman can. The reason why I feel like she still have her job is because it was planned. It was orchestrated. Mm-hmm. They sent her. Mm-hmm. That's why they're backing her like that. Somebody sent her.
Oh.
That's what I think.
No, I feel you.
Because who can? Why are you? How many times have we? And I know it's just movies and TV shows and stuff like that. But how many times have we seen where the mob will send a police officer to kill somebody in traffic? Like, come on now. Like,
right.
Police officers are known to be hitmen too, and
it's just a big game.
Yeah. And I feel like somebody sent her, and she probably don't even, or she was probably even blackballed into doing it, blackmailed into doing it. Mm-hmm. Maybe she did something. Maybe she been stealing money or stealing the drugs that come in that they confiscated.
Somebody
or something like that.
Her,
so
yeah.
So scratch my back, I scratch. You do this, you do. It's
I mean,
something.
One of the things that I think about it is, like, I just remember, the shooting that happened with Michael X. Johnson, where he shot the cops in downtown during that other protest. And regardless of what you think about that, I know some people, don't think that was a legitimate occurrence. They think it was a false flag. But I just look at it like, okay, if this guy killed, this many cops, you think the cops are gonna let the citizenry get away with that? Don't you think that they're going to retaliate, basically?
Yeah. So
maybe what we were seeing is some sort of retaliation from the Dallas police. It's just something to think about.
Yeah, it's true.
To think about.
Which is true too. And I was there.
You were downtown that day?
Mm-hmm. I was downtown that day, marching, running with the crowd of people, trying to. Well, to be honest with you guys, I don't even know what I was running for. I just saw people running and I ran.
Instinct. Yeah.
It was later when I found out that it was a whole big ordeal.
You didn't even hear the shots?
And was no, I actually didn't. And that's another reason why I believe that, not that it was a false flag, but because information was leaked out to the public or sent out to the public that wasn't true.
Okay.
I was there. I did not hear those shots, and actually I was in the very front. There's a video, a Skycam video on YouTube where it shows like the first people breaking out. It's like a guy on a bike. You know, everybody's walking, and the first few people, like, they break out and they start running back to where we was walking from. I'm right there, like in the front with that crowd of people. Me and my homegirl, and me and her both. We did not hear those continuing shots like they were saying, or anything like that.
I mean, they got videotape of supposing this guy on the ground running, and then somehow he gets up there, or he was up there and somehow he got down onto the ground.
Yeah, and that looked like it was more after they ran away and they was out there for a while. Yeah. Then it started to get like crazy. But initially, how they tried to make it seem like how the guy popped it off and stuff like that, it wasn't anything like that.
That's cool. Nice. Good to know that you were there. We're getting a little eyewitness testimony of that event. So, you know, are y'all feeling us out there? Or do y'all like the way Power Poetry Radio is going tonight? This is probably what you're going to expect if it's just me and her talking. Like, this is going to get like that. Like, we're going to have real conversations.
Poetry, and music.
Exactly. So keep tuning in. You know, you never know what you're going to hear.
Yeah, for real. Like, we already went over. We're going to have
guests. We're going to have guests and all that. So like and subscribe to the page. Tell them about the app again.
Yeah. Indie Plug. That's the name of it. Just Indie Plug. Indie Plug Media, guys. Power Poetry is now on a app. So right now, you guys that are tuning in, you either clicked on an Android link or you clicked on an iPhone link. We now are on a app. It is Indie Plug app. INDIE Plug. You said media? Indie Plug Media. So go to your Google Play or your apps, Apple App Store, whatever it is. Indie Plug Media. You'll see it. Download it. And you'll be able to listen to the show from the app instead of clicking those links, guys. However, if you still want to click the link, you know, we're not going to make you do something that you don't want to do. Okay, you got options. Go to Facebook and like Pop Radio, Power of Poetry. Like that video and make sure y'all subscribe to YouTube, because these live videos are going to be on the Pop Radio YouTube channel as well. So when I get home tonight, I'm going to upload this video on there. And we're going to keep it like that. We're going to keep it going every Thursday from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. with your girl Floetic Desire in Acoustic Ambiance. Next Thursday, we are looking to have a guest on the show. So if you want to be a guest on Pop Radio Power of Poetry, hit me up, hit Reginald up, hit Douglas Elliott up. Hit us up, guys. You know, message Pop Radio Power of Poetry, do whatever you have to do and say, hey, I want to be on the show. And we'll schedule you and get you on. You know, Pop Radio Power of Poetry, we came back and we're doing it big, you know, doing big things, and we're going to take it to the next level. Seriously. Yes. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. I'm going to go ahead and let y'all go. I'm going to go pick up my baby. And I know y'all hear these smooth grooves playing right now. Make sure y'all follow Acoustic Ambiance on Instagram as well. Can't forget about that. every Thursday. It's going down. Thank y'all. Hey.
2 comments on mine alone.
Oh, that's what's up.
Good. So
That's
you know
what's
what we gotta do? We give a little music, a little poetry, and just good conversation.
Right?
Keep good conversation going. Like, yeah, that's what they want to do.
Hey guys, we're about to go ahead and get up out of here. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. It was a pleasure bringing you poetry, bringing you some smooth grooves with Acoustic Ambiance on Next Level Internet Radio Station. Again, for the last time for the night, make sure you go to the YouTube channel and subscribe to Pop Radio Power of Poetry. Peace.
114